it's Jensen.
Thank you so much, and great cast on that game, by the way, guys. But this is the man of the hour, Jensen. QuickShot just said it. Be happy with the win, but disappointed maybe in the way it all went because you guys looked a little defeated there after that whole thing. So what's going through your head?
I think we're just like a bit, I don't know, in shock maybe. Like, I don't think we were expecting to come back, and I think we made a lot of misplays early, but we managed to hold on and make a comeback. So it feels good to win, but we definitely have a lot of stuff to work on.
I think that's a good takeaway, a lot of stuff to work on. Tell me about the decision-making and the calls in that game. Meteos had a rough early game, but then he makes a couple of insanely important cues at the end of the game. So how did you guys kind of try to keep the morale high?
I think the morale was fine throughout the game. There wasn't really an issue with it. I think they were just pressuring us a lot, and we didn't really know how to like deal with it, I guess. And then in the end, we started using the Lee Sin to flank more, and it worked out very well, and yeah, we did it.
You guys did it indeed. So let's take a step back and look at the whole group now. Yesterday you had that game versus SKT, who a lot of people thought that might be closer. Do you think you have underperformed there and can improve, or what's going on with C9 now?
I think mistake was just giving Faker Syndra. I didn't actually expect them to take it first pick, so it kind of threw us off. Yeah, I think Syndra right now is just a really strong champion, and if you give them Elise and Syndra together, it's very hard to like do stuff mid lane. So I was just under pressure the whole game, and he played it very well. I don't think we are too sad about the loss. Like, we realized what went wrong, and moving forward, I think we can bounce back.
Okay, so what will be the key for C9 for getting out of this group and into quarterfinals?
Body by Jensen, yeah.
There we go, bodied by Jensen, and they make it to the quarterfinals. We'll see if that happens. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations, C9 pull out the win.
Thank you very much, Shocks. I'm glad we had that interview because it gave us a moment to breathe here on the desk. But before we try and make sense of this game that was balancing on a knife's edge for an eternity, let's go ahead and take a look at the last couple plays that brought home the victory for Cloud9 here, ultimately.
This honestly is all about Meteos, the guy who had a very average first 40 minutes, but when the game is extended this long, we know about Lee Sin's playmaking potential. This champion has come back just for Worlds, and I think we're all the benefactor. The crowd, everyone enjoys a good Lee Sin game. I don't know if we got one of those, but damn if we got two great highlights right at the end.
The secret agent mission there from Meteos paying off. Gets into the back line and gets the priority target.
Gets a follow-up mission on this fight as well because he comes out of nowhere. First of all, the TP coming in from Impact pulls Flash Wolves all the way back away from the fight. That leaves MMD pretty much dead in the water. Meteos out of the base of Flash Wolves just comes in, gets the kick, sets Cloud9 up, and that was the game.
You kind of have to pull back a bit, Dash, because obviously we're seeing flashy big plays. That's what a champion like Lee Sin does, but that's not what we saw from Flash Wolves. 2 games in a row, this team has basically been the worst salesmen possible. They cannot close games. They open them up very well, but they don't draft engage. They go for these poke comps. They take the minimum, and then after that, they just don't really find a way to close a game. And if you extend it this long, one team fight can decide it. IMA and now C9 have found that out.
And Kobe, I think that's where we have to return to the story of these teams and the group coming into this game. Both had taken losses yesterday, so the importance of not going down 0-2 and being able to persevere in a situation like this.
Right, the huge story here is how much of an endurance test this game was. We can only imagine the emotions that are flowing through these teams that have lost their first game on the world stage, don't want to throw against this constant back and forth in the late game. I mean, most League of Legends players have been in a situation where the game goes that long, but on the stage with this many people watching you, it's just incredible.
And with the noise that was being created in this crowd, so I had to just jump in and recognize that, because I can only imagine that, I mean, feeling the vibrations on stage adds to that. If I screw up, any moment could be the end of the game.
Insane amount of noise in the crowd. I do want to kind of temper things looking at a holistic view comparative to some of the other teams that we're seeing here at Worlds. A lot of the mistakes coming from Flash Wolves and the reservations coming out from C9 as well are self-implicated. A lot of them coming from the draft from Cloud9 when you look at their priority coming out of the jungle. Flash Wolves with a very slow playstyle, which is making both of these teams look very beatable. And that's a little scary as we go through. Now we're a quarter of the way through the tournament for some of these teams.
And just building on that point, the best teams in the world are methodical and they're clutch. We had methodical play from Flash Wolves 2 games in a row, didn't manage to close it out. We saw clutch play from C9, that took out the game, but you need both to go far at Worlds, and there's still 4 games, I guess, for these guys to catch up and find that kind of 2-punch way to move forward.
But the one player that did kind of play consistently for Cloud9 was Impact, and he'll be receiving player of the game here. We saw him, being able to build that CS lead in the top, a couple solo kills to keep them in the game as long as they did.
The pressure Impact had, sorry, Kobe, to cut you off, even earlier on in the game, just the threat of the TPs, his lead was just significant. That's one of the reasons why he's got it.
Yeah, if you just go all the way back to Champion Select.
Seems like a long time ago.
Exactly. The way they drafted, it relies so much on Impact to get to this back line. Impact and Meteos, the 2 playmakers, the only ones with possibility of making plays, right? And it has to come from these flanks, and they have to have their flashes available. So we're constantly waiting for flash cooldowns to come back up and proto belts, and so much pressure on those 2.
All right, well, go take a breath, because we need to take a breath. There's still plenty of more Worlds 2016 group stage on the card. When we return, the reigning world champions, SKT, take on the LPL's IMEI. So don't touch that browser.
As we load up onto the Rift, Flash Wolves versus Cloud9. Look for the cocoon, it connects! Impact will go down! First blood for Casa. Here is the play, teleport, Sneaky's caught, he gets equalized.
皮蛋太神啦！
Do Cloud9 go for it?
Meteos is in the pit, Meteos is behind Baron, gets caught, the shockwave, it's secured by Jensen!
Look at Burst.
I'm
make kills.
Hey, be kind.
I make kills, yeah. Release.
I have a trap tom. I have trap tom.
Release that. Go end.
Cloud9, they don't give up, they don't surrender, and they take down Flash Wolves!